Fuck, dude. This place right now. I wanted to pop on here and just make a quick video. This is going to be a confusing video if you're not someone that has followed me previously. Um, because my language is going to be vague in a lot of ways, but it'll make sense to most people. So I made all of my YouTube videos private. They're not gone. Um, that didn't feel good to me, but I did make them private. And so I wanted to chat a little bit about that without being, too specific. Um, because if I was too specific, I would then have to take this video down, and that would negate this entire endeavor. So we're living in different times, obviously, right now, and let's talk a little bit about risk appetite. Risk appetite is it's a measure of how much risk you're willing to accept, for how long, and under what circumstances, including a circumstance where the risk is escalating. And um, depending on your risk appetite, you will or will not make certain decisions. So, the important thing to remember about risk appetite is it's a personal thing for people as individuals, but also as family units. And a family unit could even be an individual. So it's unfair and unnecessary to compare one family's risk appetite to another family's risk appetite, because there are so many variables that go into every single family and every single person. So in situations like that, it's kind of like a just you do you, boo, type of thing, and do what works for you and your family. With that being said, I decided to put my YouTube videos for the last 14 years in in private mode, and not that anything was wrong with any of the videos, but there, are reasons that I just felt like it was probably a good idea to um, post different types of content on my YouTube channel. So, my point being is I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to still be making videos, um, but they're going to look a little bit different. And, what I feel like is really important is that, visibility can look a lot of different ways, and it doesn't have to be pointed and direct and aggressive, because that type of visibility doesn't always work. Visibility can look very much like just letting people know that you're still here and you're still thriving, and that you still believe that there could be goodness. So, just everyone just think about that, and know that I'm still here. Um, but it's different. It's different for sure. The other thing just to keep in mind is that, resistance looks a lot of different ways. And, if you look at any resistance movement in history, and I'm just talking generally right now, I'm not saying there's any resistance going on, but if you look at it, the resistance movements throughout history, there are times when they're very visible, and there are times where, in order to retain the strength and cohesion of the resistance, they're forced to spend time underground uh, for a short duration. So, just because things aren't as visible as they may be before, it doesn't mean, it certainly doesn't mean giving up. I think, I think for the vast majority of people, we want the same things. We want health, happiness, and prosperity for ourselves and for our family and for our friends. And those are goals that we will not let go of easily.